here's my new update for today. As you can see, it rains here a lot, and that is totally not moisture. It's over it. It's inside right there. There is a crack. The whole thing is cracked right there. So that moisture is in the inside of it. Generally, you don't want moisture inside your headlights as it builds up and your light bulbs heat up, causes condensation inside the actual bulb, and eventually it'll cause a short. Yeah, so this is my new tail light. In order for you to get back into where the tail light is at, you need to like pop out both of these plastic holders. After you pull out these holders, there's two of them. They're fairly easy to come out. Then you actually get to pull that actual cover there. And that's all that's holding that back until you can get to the 10 millimeters. It's the same thing for this one. Give it a nice left turn, take it out. 1, 2, and the third one is this 10 mil. You can see in there a ton of water. I just popped it out. Yeah, where this one belongs. The actual frame. That part has been damaged, so the back part of it is not sitting flush on here. This has to grip the bottom of it, and it has a plastic piece internally there. It grabs onto the actual tail light, and that part was damaged a little bit. 310 mils. I have the one with the bulb on it, but the other one's extra. So what I do is I take that one off, pull this one off, and I have spares now. I'll go ahead and slap this one back in. So initially I didn't really notice how burnt up that bulb was, but it was bad. Once I tested out the lights, the bulb wasn't coming on for the actual brake, so I went ahead and got new bulbs for that. Just on that one side. The other side, the brake lights and then the reverse light and everything worked really well. So if you have a burnt bulb, just go ahead and go get a new one, replace it, and you'll be better off that way, because you don't want to be in the highway pushing your brakes and nobody knows that you're braking and you get rear-ended in the highway. So it's always important to get those little details, and this is one of them that's easy to miss. So if you have a bad bulb, go ahead and replace it. Alright, so clean that off a little bit. These guys are nice and tight. Now this guy wraps around. One in there, and the other one down here. This is plastic clips. They go into the top side of the bulb, and that's it. Alright, so for a problem like this, if you pull this off, you can see that there's a bend here. This guy is kinked. You can definitely see it that it's not connecting here. It's definitely gonna get stretched out and pulled at the body shop. Something that I can't do manually at my house, but what I can do, stop that water leak right there. This whole thing was covered in water. My wheel is still covered in water. All right. you can't do everything, but you can definitely do some minor things. And then this is a minor thing that I'm able to do. The wheel doesn't sit flush, it stays at an angle. And so it causes this not to fully sit in the bottom, which causes this not to engage. So this is just floating because it doesn't reach all the way down. It needs to go about maybe about an inch. So this bolt needs to go about an inch down, going in there in order for it to tread in there. But at first, you got to figure out where the leak is coming from. This all the way straight through, and it's fairly flush, going all the way through, and it's flush. It feels smooth here, but I feel the bent in here. There's like a lump, yeah. And it goes up, and you can see the shadow that it creates right there. So it comes up, down, wrinkles here, wrinkles again, and then becomes smooth. No resistance there, comes straight up. It meets resistance. So my main damage is here. In order for me to figure out what in this general area is leaking, first identify this guy, because definitely you're gonna jump inside the trunk, and use my trusty headlights, turn them off, and wherever the air is or wherever I see light coming in is where I have my spot. Most likely if you're crusted a little bit or whatever, it's gonna be really uncomfortable. Got my release latch, so all I like to do is push it over. Even if my release latch wasn't right there, I can manually push it with my finger. Alright, manual release, or just push this guy, follow the arrow, and go this way, and it pushes that way. Here's the fun part. Everything looks lit up to me. Turn off light. There we go. See that? It's the reason that my trunk has water in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this off with the hammer as best as I can, and then I'm going to fill this with RTV or any type of compound that you have that's like rubber, or it's not a fix. It's not going to the doctor. This is just a temporary thing until I can get this to the body shop, because I don't want more water to come in here and do more problems. So definitely you can see with the shadows where the wrinkles are. You can't see that with the light. The light of the trunk open. See this bent here? So most definitely I'm gonna punch this down as much as I can, and punch this down over here, and try to get this as low as I can, and then I'm gonna fill this up with RTV. Here as we go, escape mode. There, my tread is gonna fit right in there. Tread this stuff right in there. Hell yeah. So that inch in clearance And you're supposed to have an inch extra here. This hand tight goes in there. Should be able to tighten this up, and then this holds your wheel in place. There you go. That solves the problem of me fitting my wheel in. Oh, I have some high-tempered RTV, which is basically silicone, and it's a gasket if you have something for like windows or whatever, anything that'll stop the leak. If you have this type of stuff here from Toyota, whatever this thing is, it's definitely something rubber based or something like that. I would use that too as well. Just anything that you have, so you can press a big wad. Alright, so it took me a little bit, but I finally ordered these guys. So this is the, I believe this is the side, the front mount. This is the mount. It's directly in front of the engine right there. Yeah, that's what this one is. So this one's gonna be directly in front of there. I replaced the side one, but since I bought them at a deal, came another side one, and this one, if it ever goes out again, I know how to find it, test it, I'll put it on the side. This is the rear mount. And then this is, so remove that clip right there. Swing this over completely, just to the side. Place it there, because what we need is down here. It's 3 10mm that I loosen up there. And then there's another 10mm right there, which is attached to that bracket holds in place right here, and there's no way to mess that up. So just put that 10mm back, put this onto the side, and here we go. While I'm down here, I'm also gonna insulate these a little bit more. So right there you have basically a little rat nest. So I'm gonna take the vacuum, suck that up, and get ready to take this off. Looks like it's fairly easy to take off. Just a couple bolts, 4 attached to this side here, and 1, 2, 3 on this side, holding the tranny portion up. I found it a lot easier. It's a lot easier to take out the battery because it opens up that entire space right there. That's exactly where I'm working. All it is 4 14mm bolts, and 2 of them are attached on the bottom, one right there and one on the other side, and 2 of them are on the top. And there's a stud, which is this one. This goes right across from it, and you can hear the clacking. This is definitely loose or damaged. You can definitely hear some loud thuds, like back and forth. So generally, rule of thumb, I like to compare them. Obviously, they're not OEM, but definitely you want to see something very similar to what you're replacing. And this one does, yeah. See, this even looks a little bit more sturdier than the older one. Like, I can totally see some really hard spots here where it's been banging against the actual frame itself. I don't know, this whole thing could have been rubber. I'm not sure why they have those holes in between, or what was the design process for these, but making that whole thing rubber, making it a little bit more sturdier. Yeah, too much metal in my opinion, but it is what it is. I'm not here to design it, I'm just here to fix it. So